Hello, students. Today we begin with the summary of the play Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett, Act 1. Now, Waiting for Godot has a very unusual opening, and as soon as we begin reading the play, we find that there is a kind of a bleakness and barrenness that is highlighted. The setting is a country road, and the only physical landmark is a tree. And the time of the day is evening time. So, this is the background, the setting of the play, and one of the characters is seated on a mound, which can be considered symbolic of the ash heap on which the biblical character Job had settled himself. And the character is Estragon the tramp. And the very first sentence that is uttered by Estragon is, I quote, "Nothing is to be done." And it's a very important and significant line in the play because that also relates to the human condition. Nothing is to be done. The other tramp, that is Vladimir, takes his words in an absolute sense as a comment on life. And what does he say? He remarks, I quote, "I'm beginning to come around to that opinion. All my life I've tried to put it from me, saying, Vladimir, be reasonable. You haven't yet tried everything." And I resumed the struggle. So, the tramps have to make a very long and hopeless wait endurable. There is no work as such in which they can engage themselves except Estragon trying to take his boots off and examining them and his feet, and Vladimir taking off his hat and peering inside it. So, the general statement, nothing to be done, can refer to Estragon's inability to pull off his boot, waiting for Godot, or the characters' lives in general, and even the human condition. There is nothing, which means there is hopelessness. There is a kind of resignation. There is bleakness. There is no destination. And Estragon exasperately keeps saying, nothing to be done. And Vladimir agrees, and then Estragon asks him where he spent the last night. And Estragon says that he slept in a ditch. Then Vladimir asks him if inverted commas, they beat Estragon while he was sleeping there. And he says that they did. Vladimir says it's too much for one man. But then he reasons that there's no point in giving up now. Estragon then tells Vladimir to stop talking and help him in getting his boots off. Then Vladimir asks if the boot hurts, and Estragon is balked and confused at this question. Then Vladimir reminds him that he is not the only one who suffers and points out to Estragon that his fly, that is his pant zip, is unbuttoned. Now, when we analyze these lines, we see that the play introduces the audience to the character's very bleak and dark world, which is filled with all kinds of suffering, from the very trivial ones like a boot that is stuck, which is not coming off, and the character trying to repeatedly trying to take it off is a kind of a suffering, though a trivial one, to the more serious ones like an anonymous they. It's not specified who this they are, who had beaten Estragon mercilessly. So there is suffering at all levels, and Beckett mixes this suffering with abrupt humor in the form of Estragon's unbuttoned fly. Moving on to the summary again, Estragon again asks for help, but Vladimir ignores him, taking off his hat, looking in it, and shaking it upside down as if hoping for something to fall out. He's looking, he's searching. There is a quest, and nothing seems to fall out, and he says, nothing to be done. This line is repeated again and again, nothing to be done. Estragon finally gets his boot off and then looks inside it and shakes it upside down, apparently also hoping to find something inside it. Vladimir says, "Show me." But Estragon tells him there's nothing to see. So, in these lines, we see the absurd behavior of these two tramps, the characters, Estragon and Vladimir, looking inside their hats and their boots, trying to search, but there is no explanation given for this behavior. Vladimir ignores Estragon's pain and repeats Estragon's assertion that there is nothing to be done. So these characters, they are not only bored, but they are also crippled by their inability to do anything at all. And this applies to the human condition as well. We'll continue tomorrow.